Madden gods.
Perfect. Today we're going to be going over the best superstars to trade for in Madden 24 franchise mode. It's Tips for Gamers here. How you guys all doing today? Hopefully good. Hopefully you guys are just one brick away from being your best selves. Never live with regret. Always give it your all to the people around you. Don't give up on them. Just, be there for the people who mean the most to you, and just keep at it. Just keep at it. That's all I can say to you guys. If you guys are new to the channel or you guys like the content that we produce, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. Click that notification bell. There's no place better to be than in our notification squad. So welcome in, boys. And let's go get Buck. Let's light it up. So Trevor Lawrence made it onto our list. Quarterbacks are incredibly tough to trade for. The higher the overall is, it starts to get incredibly hard. Also, rookies are incredibly hard to trade for. Trevor Lawrence, he's got the dev, he's got the overall, he's got the age, he's still in his rookie contract, and you can get him relatively easy. So we got a first pick 20. We got Jamal Adams, and Jamal Lewis, running back from the Ravens and Browns. And then we're asking for a third-round pick back as well. And so you could see how close we are to getting him. If you had a higher first-round pick or even a better player, obviously you could offer less. But this is really nothing. A first-round pick 20, and Jamal Adams for Trevor Lawrence in a third-round pick or even a fourth-round pick is perfect. That's an amazing trade. So next on our list is running back off the Jaguars. We got Travis Etienne Jr. I believe I said that name correct. If I mess it up, I apologize. 2-year pro, 24 years old. Obviously, Madden rating adjusters had a lot to do with his overall being an 86 because the standard Madden rating or Madden XP sliders would not typically put your running back in an 86 overall unless he's really, really good within 2 years. It's just not going to happen. So that's why he made it to our list, and we recommend trading for him. Second-round pick, if you have a better second-round pick, then obviously you're not going to have to give up as much as we're giving up. But our second-round pick's not so hot. A safety here, Julian Love, and then we're also giving up Zach, who is a rookie. I understand this. However, to get Zach's overall to an 86 overall in the next 2 years is very unlikely. Okay, without the Madden rating adjusters influencing it to some degree, because the Madden XP sliders are trash. All right, so if you have a good second round pick, you might not be able to have to use a guy like Zach, right? But there's several different variations of what you can use. I mean, it's relatively easy, and we'll show you how close we are to getting it here with a 5th round pick. If we add up a 4th round pick or even a 3rd, we're definitely going to get him. Okay, and that's pretty easy to do, and it's easy to give up for a guy like that because it's less work that I have to do. I could go and draft a really good running back. I can go bring one in, but to actually get that running back to a high level early on in a franchise rebuild is not the easiest thing. It just isn't. It's much easier 5 years down the road when your team's really good, your offensive line's good, you're already winning playoff games, potentially Super Bowls, your coaching staff's already upgraded. It makes it a little bit easier. So in the meantime, before you get to that point, trading for some of these guys is worth its weight in gold, and getting these picks back are very, very easy to do. So next on our list, we got Jaylen Waddle, 24 years old, superstar, 87 overall. The dude is an absolute dog. And we're going to give up our first-round pick 20, which is not really that good. We got Duran Reed, and you can see how close we already are. If we throw up a third-round pick or even possibly a wide receiver or, they have tight end as well. I could throw up Will Disley, see how close we are there. And I don't even really need Will, and yet I could still almost get it to go through, go to the free agency, get a running back. But as you can see here, I already threw up another running back. I throw a 7th-round pick at this point in time, and I got Jaylen Waddle for a first-round pick 20. Think of that. If I could get him, because these other guys here, I'm not even going to keep them. Okay? So if I could get a guy that's as good as Jaylen Waddle for a first-round pick 20, done. I would give that up in the draft every single draft without a problem. So that's definitely why he makes it onto this list. So the next guy on our list, we got Amon-Ra St. Brown. Dude's a dog. Dude's an absolute dog. 23 years old, 87 overall, superstar dev. He's basically just too American, this guy here. So to trade for him, I got a bunch of things going on here. I'm going 2nd-round pick for this guy. I'm not going 1st-round pick. because I don't think you have to. I'm going to go Bobby Wagner. If you find a guy like Bobby Wagner, it's absolutely perfect. You can do a first-round pick 20, and Bobby Wagner, and it'll go through no problem. However, I'm just trying to do mishmash here. I want to do a little mishmash, and that's what I'd be doing. So I'd be in a third-round pick, second-round pick, want to keep my first-round pick, and then just trade players that, in reality, I don't want. Now, if it came down to it and this didn't go through, and you're like, okay, I just want it to go through, and you could obviously ask for a lot more back, but you can see even there, Bobby Wagner is a normal dev. The dude is going down, all right, in overall. That overall is not going to stick after a year. It's going to get ugly. So you might as well trade him now. Getting him for a first-round pick, you kidding me? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, I'm done with it. That's why he made it on our list. So we got Kyle Pitts on the list. I'm not even going to talk about why he's on the list because I feel like that's ridiculous. I'm going to show you more how easy it is to trade for him. You throw a second-round pick up there, the dude's probably yours. Okay, even if it's a bad second-round pick, you could probably even hit it with a third-round pick, maybe add some more players. There's so many different ways to get him, and there's no reason not to have him. Okay, he's going to be the highest overall tight end in the next 3 to 4 years of your franchise, unless you switch some wide receivers over. So he makes it onto our list because you see, I already showed you. So then we got Rashawn Slater on here, 24 years old, 87 overall. We're going with Bobby Wagner just to give you guys an idea. You can add some players up as well. Anyone who's older, you can even use Diggs here. And you can use them instead of using draft picks as well. I can go a third-round pick, just kind of show you how close we can get. He's not hard to trade for, and he's worth his weight in gold, literally. So this is why he made it onto our list. So we got Landon Dickerson, pretty easy guy to trade for, 82 overall. I could use a guy like Bush, and then obviously pad on through there some halfbacks if you got them. You could do a third-round pick. You can kind of go from there. I wouldn't go too high on the pickage for Dickerson. I just wouldn't. He made it onto this list because he's a guy you can get relatively easy, but if you don't have the players and you don't really have the easy draft picks to do it, he may be a guy that you want to avoid because you don't want to overpay for him. You definitely don't want to overpay for him. You can get a good interior lineman in the draft, no doubt. But if you have the guys, you got a guy like Bush, who's my third string guy on my team, and then you throw in some other guys from there, or you use free agency players, he's pretty easy to get. So the next guy is Trey Smith, and he is the exact same way to trade for as Landon Dickerson. So I don't want to go through that whole thing and even tell you. You follow the team needs, stick with the program that we're already showing you guys, and you'll be fine. But look to pick him up if you have the players and you have the picks to do so, and it's not going to cost you too much. Next up on the list, we got our big dog, Penei Sewell, 6'6", 325, 86 overall, superstar, dev, you name it. I'm going to show you how easy it is to trade for him. You got Bobby Wagner, and then you pad from there. So all these guys are relatively, you're starting to see a pattern here, how they're all somewhat similar to trade for, right? You're seeing this pattern, okay? And so that's what you want to stick with. Add maybe a second-round pick, go from there, and it's probably going to go through like that if I had a second-round pick, and he's way worth it. Trading Bobby Wagner in a second-round pick for Penei Sewell, done. I'll do it all day. I would do it for every one of my offensive line position group. What the hell am I saying? Every one of my offensive line positions. I don't know where I was going with after that, but this is how easy it is to trade for Penei Sewell, my boy. And we got our boy Greg. What's up? Pretty easy to trade for, 84 overall. You can't go wrong with that. And the beautiful part is he's a left end, and you don't have to worry about it being like super expensive. It's going to be expensive as hell, but he's coming up on a contract. The dude's going to get into the 90 overall range, so signing him this next year, you could probably not even put too much, upgrades on him. Jesus Christ, it went through too quick. But you can see how easy it is to trade for him. I mean, a regressing Bobby Wagner. And then we got our boy. That's how easy it was. I mean, that's why you subscribe. Right there. That's why you hit the like button already before you got to this point. Right? All right, so we got our boy Chase Young up on the map here. And the dude's a dog, and he's super easy to trade for. So we got Bobby, because Bobby's kryptonite. The dude's the best. We got Disley. We got DJ. I want to give up players. I could just do Bobby and then, like, fourth-round pick probably, and that'd work. But this is what I'm doing. Okay, so literally a fourth-round pick on top of it, except for I don't want to give up a fourth-round pick. I'd rather give up a fifth and a seventh, get this to go through. And what I'm going to try is I'm going to try to do something a little bit different. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my boy Bobby Wagner. I'm going to trade for Bobby Wagner also back. At least that's what I'm going to try to do. See if I can get him for a 4th-round pick. They said no to that, and they're going to be stingy. I can already tell. I can feel the stinge coming from them. And so, yeah, they got a little stingy. Sometimes you can get Bobby Wagner back pretty easy, and it just depends. You got to kind of like move it around. However, Bobby Wagner is a dog. And if you use other middle linebackers too, like they do love middle linebackers, they love halfbacks still, you're going to be able to get these guys relatively easy if you just stick with what we're showing you here. So another guy, Jalen Phillips, outside linebacker, showed you guys how to trade for him here. We used Bush. We used a 77 overall Disley and a 2nd-round pick. Probably could have used a 3rd. But in reality, most of these guys that we're showing you, you're seeing the same type of trades, right? Same type of trades. I'm padding it. I'm using one spearhead. Maybe I use a 2nd-round pick. For the really good guys, I'm using a 1st-round pick. But for the most part, these guys are just relatively easy to trade for if you just follow the same steps that we've already showed you. Another guy on the list is Jeremiah. Dude's pretty solid across the board, easy to trade for. Definitely a guy I recommend getting. Next up, we got Nick Bolton, who is turning into an absolute beast, a guy out of Missouri. Who would have thunk that? Missouri has players that go to the NFL? Just kidding. I want to see if I can do something stupid right now. Look at that. Look at how stupid that is. No one in real life would make that trade. No one. Absolutely. And if you did, you're Bobby Wagner's family. That's the only excuse, unless you got the hots for him or something. Other than that, come on now. Give me a break. Anyways, you get the gist. Easy to trade for, right? That's why he made it on this list. Tyson Campbell also made it to this list. Really good guy to trade for. I really, really recommend trading for him. You can do the 2nd-round pick. You can use Bobby Wagner. Definitely a guy that you can pick up, or a guy like Bobby Wagner is what I mean. You don't hunt out Bobby Wagner. But you know what I mean. You get the gist. A middle linebacker of sorts. Go from there. 3rd. You get it. I don't think I have to walk you guys through every little step at this point. Greg Newsome, the 2nd, is the other guy that I recommend on cornerbacks. And those are really good corners. If you have those 2 corners, you are absolutely going to be balling out. Now, Holland is another guy as well. This is the safety that I recommend going and picking up. Really, really easy to go pick up. I can use like Brooks at this point in time, go from there. They don't like Brooks. They don't like any of these middle linebackers except Bobby Wagner. But also you could go in and, I don't have my 2nd-round pick anymore. Dang, that sucks. 1st-round pick from years ahead. You can use that, kind of milk your way through with, running back, linebacker if you don't have it. And you get the gist. Just kind of work your way through. All right, now I've made some trades, so my team's kind of goofy at this moment in time. However, Holland is really not that hard to trade for if you have the right players and you have the right draft picks or something like that. I don't have a 2nd-round pick. I don't want to just use Bobby Wagner every single time, but I can if I wanted to. I mean, he's just ridiculous. Anyways, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this list. Go get these superstars. What are you waiting for? Hit that like button. Subscribe. What's going on?